Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to Rabble Rouser, the show where I pick a random topic out of a hat every week and ramble about it. It is not ranting necessarily because the topic may be positive, and my thoughts about it may be positive. But that's all this is, just me rambling on for an undeterminate amount of time about a randomly chosen topic. So, that being said, let's begin.
Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
And today's topic is. Here we go, I'll take this one. Again, I don't know if you can see this like last week's, but here. Black Mirror. Okay, so Black Mirror. I recently watched Black Mirror. Not really on a whim, but just kind of like, why not? I wanted to check this out. I've heard good things about it, so let's just get to it. I had recently almost caught up with Better Call Saul, which was the big show I was watching before that, and I thought, yeah, I think it's about time we can start something new. Um, Sorry for my hair being wet, by the way. I was just outside and it's raining. But yeah. So Black Mirror, for those who don't know, I actually did a top 10 on this recently, so this is actually very, very fitting timing. Black Mirror is a technology-based drama slash horror show. It tends to be more drama than horror, but there are definitely elements of horror in it. The show is on Netflix, so if you haven't seen it, I definitely suggest checking it out. It is an anthology series, which means every episode is its own separate story, but they all seem to take place within the same like continuity, within the same universe. All of it is happening. You'll see episodes where previous episodes are blatantly referenced, the events of which are clearly implied to have happened in that continuity. So yeah. Um, but yeah, the basic gist is it is very technology focused. In other words, like a lot of the horror and drama comes from like this semi-futuristic technology. It's like it's stuff that's like we can imagine existing in the current day, but doesn't, or stuff that is like at least very close to being possible. Um, for example, there's one episode where there's this robotic dog that is pretty much identical to the robotic dogs that Boston Dynamics created, just more weapon oriented, showcasing that this kind of stuff in this series is very much possible. It is very possible technology that will be made viable in a lot of ways. And it's a lot of technology that people could see being done for various reasons. And each episode, being an anthology, has its own positives and negatives. So you can't really, it's really hard to judge the series as a whole, considering that each episode is so different. Like one episode is about playtesting basically what amounts to a full dive virtual reality horror experience. And another episode is about basically a society that lives within one building. They have a very like bland existence of just doing the same thing over and over again, and everything is basically set up for them to fail. I'm not going to go into too much detail and spoilers regarding each episode, but yeah, each one is very different, but all tackle like very realistic problems and issues. One episode features this trash talking, vulgar bear mascot character who is on one hand hilarious, but on the other, it's just like, yeah, that's going way too far for a number of reasons. And it's wild. It's wild to see how just nuts all of this can be. And there are some episodes that aren't super heavily focused on the technology. The technology actually takes more of a back seat, while the episode focuses more on the drama and the aspects of that. And those episodes, some people would actually not like as much, but I think they can be great. Um, and the series also tackles a lot with relationships. Relationships is very big with the series, whether it's relationships between family, between friends, between strangers, between lovers. There's a lot of relationship dynamics within the series and its characters. Another thing the show has going for it is some good celebrity cameos, like some big names. You would think there's like a show like this, oh, it'd have like smaller names or just whatever here and there, but they have some really good guest cameos for certain episodes. One episode has Anthony Mackie, known as the Falcon from the MCU. Um, at least that's the big thing he's become known for, let's be honest. He was also in a movie called Detroit, which is about the race riots in the 60s. Um, One episode features Miley Cyrus, basically playing Miley Cyrus. There's another episode that features, well, actually, no, the same episode that features Anthony Mackie also features Pom Klementieff, who is Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, another MCU cameo. There's all kinds of cameos here and there. Actors never usually like massive names, you know? Like Domhnall Gleeson's in one, and it's like, oh yeah, you know Domhnall Gleeson from stuff like Harry Potter and Star Wars and all. But it's like, you think about it, it's like, okay, he's not like this major name. It's not like they got Mark Hamill, right? The series is made in and takes place primarily in the UK. I think there's one or two episodes that take place in the US, but that's it. Um, it takes place primarily in the UK, so there's a lot of like times you'll have to get used to like hearing them say certain things, or you'll have to get used to them driving on the wrong side of the road if you're American, of course. Um, or you'll just have to get used to just various differences, like cop cars. There's cop cars in the series in a couple episodes, and they look notably different than cop cars here in America because they do in the UK. um, and you'll have to get used to like them when they talk about different locations and whatnot. It's like, yeah, it's locations in the UK, mostly in England. I mean, specifically, but yeah, you'll have to recognize that as well. Um, Now, there are 5 seasons, I believe, currently, and they range in episodes. Each episode is like about 40 minutes, I think, is the shortest episode, and the longest is about an hour and a half. But don't worry about an episode being an hour and a half long. It will go by a lot quicker than you think. Um, this is basically just turning out to be a review, let's be honest. Um, but yeah, it'll go by a lot quicker than you think. And it's like none of the episodes feel like they're too short or too long. Each one, okay, that's not entirely true. There's a couple episodes that feel like they could have been a little longer, like they would have benefited from a little more stuff happening. But no episode feels too long. No episode feels like it's like, oh, this should have been cut down or could have been cut down. No episode really feels like that. Um, but yeah, on top of the 5 seasons, there is also a holiday special and a movie. The holiday special, I will just say right off the bat, has very little to do with the holidays. Like it takes place during the holidays, but that's really the only thing that connects it to it. I'll just be honest. I mean, it's a good special. I enjoyed it, but it's not really a holiday special. And if I were to put it like, if I were to rank it alongside holiday specials from other shows or cartoons or whatever, it wouldn't rank. It would not be in a top 10. It wouldn't be even in a top 20 because again, it just about has nothing to do with with the holidays at all. It could have taken place at any time. That's what I'm saying. So it's like a little ridiculous that it's a holiday special. But there's also a movie called Bandersnatch, and that one is very divisive from what I've seen on whether or not people like it. The big thing with it is that it is a choose your own adventure story. Like while you're watching, you actually get to choose like options on where to take the story. And I thought it was fun. I thought it was a really cool idea. I thought the story was good. It had some good actors in it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm on the side of people who actually like Bandersnatch. um, but yeah, there's a lot of great episodes, and there are episodes alone that are worth the entire series. But you can watch it out of order if you want, because again, even though there will be back references to other episodes, they're not important, and they're mostly in the background. You can watch the episodes in any order because they don't really have that big of a connection to each other. So yeah, it's like I funny enough, when I first watched it, I like put play on the site on Netflix, and it took me to season 5, episode 1, and I didn't even realize until I was almost all the way through the episode. Um, because again, it's like there's no real way to tell. Um, like when you're watching, it just lists the episode title. It doesn't even say like, oh, this is season 5, episode 1. But again, it's fine. It's fine because it's like you don't have to watch them in order. Um, Now, the series also does have explicit sex scenes in it. So, just as a note for those who may not like that or who may be uncomfortable with that, there are explicit sex scenes. You don't see like a lot of like full on blatant nudity or anything. Like the most you'll see is like a butt or maybe the outline of them on from the side. That's about it. You won't see any very graphic details, but the sex scenes are very explicitly shown. And it doesn't shy away from it, and it doesn't shy away from sex in general as a concept. It's like it doesn't like only show sex as like between two married partners, for example. It very much shows sex as a pleasurable activity. Let's put it that way. There's also a lot of violence and gruesomeness. There are certain episodes that have some really horrifying violence, let's be honest. And there are some episodes that threaten that kind of stuff and have some just really messed up shit in it. But that's part of kind of the appeal of it. It's like showing the dangers and in some ways the positives of technology. It shows both sides. There are episodes that actually end very, very happily, even if they're few and far between. Um, but yeah, overall, Black Mirror is a pretty damn good series. I'm very glad I checked it out, but like I said, it's kind of hard to judge it and rate it based as a whole, with each episode being so drastically different in terms of quality, in terms of story and characters, in terms of even just the feel of the episodes. Each episode just feels different from the last. So it's definitely something that you see more as well as an anthology, as a series of short films in a way, rather than episodes of a series. Um, but that's just how I feel about it. Tell me in the comments below what you think of Black Mirror if you've seen it. And if you haven't, I would definitely suggest checking it out. Even if you just check out a couple episodes here and there. And again, you can check out any episodes you want in any order. It does not matter. But yeah, so that is our ramble rousing for this week. We have gotten another week down, and I'm enjoying doing these. Tell me what you think of these ramble rouser videos down in the comments below as well. And hopefully we can continue doing these because it's a fun idea. It's a really fun, neat, and interesting idea. And even though this one turned out mostly just like a review, let's be honest, because I didn't want to go too much into spoiler territory, That's fine. Some of these will be reviews because not all of these are going to be like on these big like political topics or anything. Some of them are just going to be on TV shows or video games or whatever. So yeah, and if you have any suggestions for topics, please leave those down in the comments below as well. I'm always willing to hear out any suggestions for topics to put in my hat and maybe draw for next week. So thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See you all next time.